Well, friends, it's happening. We're finally starting to get weapon trailers, and while the Great Sword certainly looks great, I am definitely looking forward to seeing some of the more interesting weapons, particularly Gunlance. But what I wanted to highlight in this short video is focus mode, particularly this focus strike right here, because based on the wording, it seems to indicate that you're really going to want to use this because it does whatever massive damage is supposed to mean. But basically the combat flow of this game appears to be you hit the monster in your standard mode until a wound develops, and then you switch into focus mode and try to get this focus strike off quickly to get a free stagger as well as do a lot of damage. But as a Gunlance main, I see a problem with this mechanic. Because we all know how much Capcom loves shelling on Gunlance, to the point that they feel it needs to be nerfed into the ground all the time. What if the focus strike for Gunlance is shelling? And what if shelling, like it does in, say, Rise, absolutely stinks? Imagine getting into the late game where you're fighting the big bad monsters, and you have to rely on the wounding mechanic and focus strikes in order to do enough damage to not get DPS checked. I can already see in Master Rank that being a thing that happens. Imagine if Gunlance shelling is so bad that your focus strike is actually just terrible. I mean, surely Capcom would think of that and actually, make the focus strike equivalent to other focus strikes. But at the same time, I can also see Capcom not doing that because Gunlance bad. Now, I think every other weapon's gonna have a great time with focus strike, probably. Although, the bowguns do seem kind of suspicious with their focus mode. I wonder if they also have to rely on big explosions for focus mode, which could mean they also have terrible focus strikes. That would be hilarious and also kind of sad. But while I am super hyped for the game and it looks just amazing, I'm so concerned that they're just gonna find a way to make Gunlance actually useless again. And I think focus strike could very well be the way they make it useless. If it relies on shelling, because shelling is probably going to be mediocre in post-game, especially in the DLC, so in Master Rank it's probably going to be mediocre, and you know how it is. You end up turning Gunlance into Slaplance after a while. So if the focus strike is shelling, and shelling ends up being inadequate for DPS checks, Gunlance is actually going to be unplayable in certain scenarios, which is hopefully something they actually thought of. But then again, shelling is already unusable in certain fights in previous games, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just decided that Gunlance should stay that way. Anyway, just a little concern I wanted to bring up, but I think for the most part, focus mode is going to be a fun mechanic to play around with. It definitely looks better than the Clutch Claw. I just hope Gunlance can actually make use of it and not just be terrible because focus strike exists. But anyway, definitely keep up on the website. They're probably going to be posting more weapon trailers. And yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all next time.